I think that probably the most important ability in achieving anything is to focus. Every successful man knows how to focus. You need the ability to work an hours a day and love it. In this video, I'm going to talk about the theory, how it works in the chemicals, and In this video, I'm going to talk about the theory, how it works, how it changes your brain, and I'm going to talk about how to start dopamine detox. And in final, I'm going to talk about what you should do after you finished dopamine detox, for 7 days, of course. It's important that you will understand everything that I said and will do every step. It's important that you will understand what I'm going to talk about and do what I'm going to say. Okay, so before we are starting dopamine detox, we should know why we are doing it. So before we get into the main point, let's start with what is dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical in the brain that makes you happy. That it's the pleasure. It's the pleasure of doing something. For example, when you're eating something tasty, the dopamine is getting high. When you're eating something that is not tasty or something is awful, your dopamine is pretty down and you don't have the pleasure to eat it, to finish. If we are, as a human being, didn't have dopamine, we would probably kill ourselves within 2 days. The humanity will not survive without the dopamine. Okay, so you understand what is dopamine. Now, our young generation is getting on a dopamine addiction. Dopamine addiction is then you're trying to get as much dopamine as possible. For example, you're playing video games, you are eating junk food. For example, you're eating the pleasure food, or you're playing video games, or you're fapping. All this will give you the dopamine spark, and then it doesn't really help you in the long run. It gives you pleasure in the short term, but in the long term, it's actually ruining your brain, because your brain is getting used to the amount of dopamine that you're getting from each food, from each fap, from each video game. He starts to being used to it. And if you played video games and fapped you will notice that you're already not enjoying it. You already not enjoy playing video games or fapping and doing other stuff. So the dopamine detox is actually counters the dopamine addiction, so that your brain will reset the dopamine standard, so that you can enjoy doing other things. Okay, so now you know the theory, what's going on when you're on dopamine detox. So now let's start with it. Let's start with something pretty simple. For example, we are used to open YouTube, for example. If you're going to see how much hours you open Google and YouTube, you will see that you will have a lot of time. And big companies are they're smart. They know all the dopamine stuff, and they know some tricks to get you watch more on YouTube, for example, to get your dopamine high and get your pleasure, and you will stay for the screen for hours. That's their goal. That's their business. So what we should do is we should remove the screen. We should don't use YouTube, don't use social media, nothing. You need to use your phone, for example, only then for messages to your parents, your family, and school. That's it. You don't need WhatsApp or anything else. I can highly recommend you to download the minimalist phone. It removes you all the pop-ups. It removes you all the all the colorful apps so that you will get less dopamine on the phone and you will stay less hours. So I recommend you to download the minimalist phone. Okay, so now you got on the simple. Now we are getting to a level up. Now we're removing the bullshit food. Now we're removing the sugar. Sugar is also giving you a high pleasure. And some junk food, McDonald's, is also giving you a high pleasure. So we need to remove it. Okay, I know it requires your willpower, but there is no other way. You can remove everything that in every junk food, every sugar in your fridge, but if you will get outside of your home, if you will get outside of your comfort zone that you make for yourself, it doesn't really change, because you will start to eat with your friends, like procrastinating, and you're thinking that what you did, for example, that you removed all the things in your fridge, all the bad food, it doesn't really help you if you're like going outside and eating some bullshit and telling that you are having fun with your friends. It's procrastination. So it requires willpower. And I believe that you can do it. Because I did. Okay, so now that we have got to a level of don't eat shit food, we are leveling up. We are getting no playing video games. As I said before, video games is also giving you a high dopamine. So I can recommend you, like, go outside more, be more free. The thing that helps me to quit video games is going outside and like starting to see other things as a progressive, as a game. You start seeing, like, for example, you're going to the gym and you're starting lifting weights, and every week you're starting to level up, you're starting to add weights. So this is what I'm doing. I'm turning my life into a game. Okay, so now we are after the video games, we're getting on the highest, and like for me it was very hard, on quit fapping. I don't want to make this video long, so I would say that I recommend you to read the easy breezy method and being more social, like the home alone thoughts and other things. Most of them comes from loneliness, and after that boredom and other stuff. It comes from loneliness. So the simplest thing that I can suggest you is simply go outside, be with your friends more, like stop being on the screen, and so there's another thing that gives you watching porn, and that is boredom. You're like becoming bored, and because of that you are like feeling that you want to fap, but actually you're just seeking a dopamine. So I suggest you that you should, for at least 20 minutes, doing other things. Try your best to not watch porn in those 20 minutes, and it will go over the lustful thing and the lustful feeling. I know what you feel after you are starting this monk mode. Like, I personally did it, so I know how it feels like. But you will have a lot of time to do some other things. I specifically recommend you to go sports, to go serious on sports. Sports is fun, is healthy, and is giving you a high dopamine. So you should, like, if you have not started sports, not going to the gym, I highly recommend you to start. Okay, so then you did 7 days of the dopamine detox. What should I do? I suggest you to, if you like getting this seriously, I suggest you to turn into a monk mode. Monk mode is simply doing the same, but doing it like, for example, for 6 months, and then 3 months you're like doing the other, you're like having fun. The 6 months you're working hard on, I don't know, whatever, your body, your sport, business, whatever. 6 months, and then 3 months you're doing like, you're having fun and like doing less work. So you got the point of the monk mode. I can guarantee that if you take this seriously, I guarantee that you will beat 99% of the men. I guarantee that. By the way, if you want to clear your brains from the degenerate thoughts and become more happy and focused, you can take the first step and watch this video that I made about how to start meditating. If you want to become a better man and be better at any other aspect, you can go and check out my channel. Stay hard, I will see you on the next video.